What's going on, you guys? Yeah, everyone grab their pink comforter. I got the worst haircut ever. This is my haircut. Look at that.
Oh, and then you said Pat Dixon does have a past.
He's DeVito. His chin is kinda neato. He's Ray DeVito. He is a Guido. He's not a pedo. His name is Ray DeVito. Problems with his pedo. He's kind of retardito. It's Ray DeVito. His chin is pretty neato. That Ray DeVito. Your information he'll repeat-o. That stinky Guido. That's Ray DeVito. Rock Bottom Podcast starts now.
What's up? What's going on, you punks? Welcome, Rock Bottom Podcast. I'm Ray DeVito. I'm here with the great John Fisch, very funny comedian, longtime friend of mine. Been on Letterman, Tonight Show, done it all. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man.
What is that the doorway to?
I'm in Astoria, dude.
Nice.
I'm at Gooch's place. I stay here when I'm in Astoria. So yeah, I got to keep it open, man. Also, like, there's no air conditioning up here, so I got to keep it open got to get the air flowing.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh my God.
What do you mean?
Air conditioning. I mean, it's a little cooler today, but it's been brutal.
Yeah. I got a fan on me. It's like a little breeze. It's not the end of the world.
Okay.
It's not the end of the world, John Fisch.
Seems like the end of the world, but okay.
All right. I mean, you sweat as much as I do, so I mean, I get it, but
yeah. So we've known each other for a long time, man. You used to tell me it's some back shaving, chest shaving. You liked it if you were like, you should shave your chest.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
it's not chest shaving, John. It's not chest shaving. It's trim your chest hair.
Yeah.
Trim it. It's so much like, because if you shave your chest, it's itchy as hell. Then it's itchy. And if you don't shave it, it's just too much. But if you trim it, it's perfect.
Yeah.
You shave your head?
I sure do. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's a process. So, I mean, this whole thing, it could take not an hour, but it's more than a half hour. It definitely, I have to set some time aside. So I should do my whole body once a week.
No, dude, what you do is you get
the whole body.
the clippers.
I have the back. I have the back thing. I have the thing that you could do this and flip it around, and you can do.
I do that too. I trim all the hairs. Chest. I will sometimes shave my shoulders just because you don't want it like creeping up. You meet a nice lady, you don't want it creeping up. You want to like kind of keep it. You want to make it look like there potentially is not any hair there.
I have a nice lady upstairs, and she would rather me be hairy than shave it in her bathroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, if you had air conditioning, maybe I'd come over and we could do it together.
Just like you get my back, I get your back.
I was just thinking we could do it next to each other, but that actually sounds more efficient.
Yeah. Does she help you with it at all?
She does, actually. Yeah, she does my back and my shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah, I know she obviously. You know what I will do? This is another thing. I will do it outside sometimes, like my chest.
You too, buddy.
I'll do it outside because this way.
We're in a duplex now, okay? And our our neighbors, they moved to Florida, but they have such a great rate, that they didn't sell their house. They have to come back every once in a while, so basically the first thing I thought when they left was like, oh, I can shave my back outside now.
Yeah, I don't do my back. I admit I don't really do my back. But I'll do the chest, and I will go like in the backyard by the porch and and I also do it so I'm not facing. It's not like I'm like facing the house, so it's not like people could like really zoom in and be like, well, what the hell is he doing?
I think that's weirder. They just see you from the back.
Yeah. And I do it quick too. I do it quick. It doesn't take me long.
I know I've
done it before. Yeah. And shaving, I could do that quick as well. Dude, I got it down, man. I got it down.
We should. We're 50.
Yeah, and you're also the one that called me out on doing laundry when I go on dates, which I've done that before.
I mean, you're supposed to be called out on that. That's crazy.
She knows you're clean.
She knows you're clean, but it's like, I mean, that. Do you remember the Brady Bunch
Yeah,
when like Peter had 2 dates or something like that, and he was running back and forth, and he was gone for a
I
long
don't
time?
remember. I don't remember that episode, but
Well, they've done it in other things over the years where like you're doing 2 dates or something like that. Like what did they say when you were gone for like 10 minutes flipping your laundry?
no, she was in the car with me. She was in the
She
passenger
knew
seat.
you had full knowledge.
Yeah,
She wasn't like,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I gotta, this is a little inside information. That laundromat, if it's, what I'm thinking was on 31st Street, right? In
Yeah.
Astoria. Yeah. So she could see the subway. So she must have liked you if she didn't just be like, I'm going to go take the subway now.
Yeah,
She saw
no.
you sitting you with the laundry. I didn't
I was
know she
driving
knew.
around in my car. I had a car. It's called
That makes it even
multitasking.
more insane. I understand multitasking is a very great skill to have. I don't have it. I just think if I did, I would put it on hold for a date.
I'm showing all my cards, John. I'm putting all my cards on the table.
And
that's
your
what I'm
underwear.
doing. And my underwear. That is true. I didn't think about that. The fact that, I mean, I didn't fold my laundry. I just put it in a laundry basket. But yeah, I've done that, man. What's the craziest thing you've done on a date?
Well, before I say that, I will say, what would have really doubled down on the ballsiness of that is if you were like, I don't fold my laundry, and you made her do it.
No, come on, man.
That would have been awesome. That I would have respected.
No, man. What's the most insane thing you did on a date? Because I didn't think it was. And then again, it's not like it was a first date. It's a girl I've known for a while. It was a girl that I was dating. So it's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not,
Well, more knowledge is coming up. More information is coming up.
yeah. It's not like we just met on Bumble and I'm like, hang on, I'm gonna go do my laundry. Like, no, it wasn't date one.
Okay.
And it was Dan Allen that pointed that out to you.
Big Dan.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, oh my God, did you hear that Neptune Diner closed down?
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. Dan Allen's the one that got us that New York Times article and picture, and we about all the comedians living in Astoria, and we took it right outside of Neptune Diner at that subway stop right there. What is that? Astoria Boulevard.
Yeah. Here, I'll show the picture. And speaking of which, you were like one of the first podcasts. You had
that's right.
In the tank,
Johnny Fisch,
Johnny
Allen,
Fisch,
and Dan
Allen, Dan Shackey. And then why did you guys quit doing it?
We haven't, man. We're still going strong.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I think if I think back to it, the real reason is that our relationships were getting very strained.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We just kind of it took its toll on that, and as well, and I think it just sort of ran its course. I think now that I look back at all these amazing podcasts and I see them, it's an overwhelming endeavor to be like, I'm going to just start a podcast and just indefinitely go. If I was to do another one, I think I would do it where it would be like, I'm going to do like a reason, and like, I'm going to do 10 episodes. I'm going to do 20 episodes. I'm going to do a year, something like that. Just the never ending thing of it kind of, I don't know, kind of lost something for us, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up the picture right now from the New York Times, and it's trying to make me buy a subscription to the New York Times.
I think if you go to like Dan Allen's Instagram,
well, here it is. I'll just pull it up right here. So here, everyone could see it. But yeah, we were. Wasn't it like on the front page too? It
was pretty. I don't know about front page, but it might have been on the front page of a section.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There it is in the corner, and I'm the one right up front.
Oh yeah, you're right up front.
I got. You know why? I was the last one there. So they like put me in
because you were doing laundry.
Probably. And if you look, Andy Hendrickson was upset because he was first, and it was like a full body shot of Andy Hendrickson.
Yeah.
And then I got there and they just put me right in front. And then if you look, his neck is like he had to like
Dude, I didn't even remember this, but I started looking at that when it came out, when Dan put it there. I'm like doing a profile, and you can only tell it's me because there's no hair. I think I'm behind Dan. I
way
wonder
up on the
how many
top,
of those people still live in Astoria. There's Jesse, there's Micah Sherman, there's Dan Hershon lives in Jersey, Leah Bonema lives in LA, Dan Allen doesn't do comedy anymore. I wonder if that would be a good thing. Who in that picture still does comedy and who in that picture still lives in Astoria? Well, I would assume if you quit comedy, you would definitely quit Astoria.
Yeah, I don't know because I can't see the people in the back, but yeah, Jesse's a writer on Kimmel now, so he's in LA.
Yeah.
Micah Sherman, I know there's Rob Gordon. I'm sure Mark Douglas is in there somewhere. Also
Mark
on
Douglas,
the same page,
made our theme song for that podcast.
Dude, did you see Mark Douglas? That Key of Awesome. Remember Key of Awesome?
Yeah, love it. Can't listen to that goatee song without thinking of him.
Yeah, he did a song with Weezer. He did a song with Barack Obama. Like that was insane.
No way. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
there's Training
Day.
Day.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I knew that. What's that? Training Day.
I'm on this show tonight.
Oh, wow.
So if you put in, so there you go, Astoria Park. If it rains, I think it's indoors somewhere. But yeah, I'm on that show in Astoria tonight. Nice. So there you go. I'll plug for my show there. So you guys just had a strained relationship. That was why you quit?
I mean, I think in general, we ended up kind of doing like seasons, you know what I mean? Where we would take a break and come back. And then I think it was too hard to come back. Like I think it was a number of things, but it was like, where's this going? What's the direction here? And yeah, it was a strain on our relationships for sure.
And then there was a time, Misery Loves Company, a great podcast. And when it was Lenny would host it with Kevin Brennan. Right. And then when Lenny quit, for a minute there, it looked like you were going to be the replacement.
Yeah. I mean, I had no idea what was about all of that. All I knew was that Lenny was going away and he wanted someone to come in and just sub in for Lenny. So I did that one day and I was excited because I was like, oh, he's gonna crap on me for an hour. This is gonna be great. So I go in. He didn't make fun of me at all.
What?
I didn't. I mean, I don't know what it was. I was kind of excited for that. And then he asked me to do it again, and that was when kind of it hit the fan between them.
Okay.
So that's why maybe they were considering somebody else. I didn't know that. When I found out that him and Lenny were like at ends with each other, I was like, oh, because I'm very good friends with Lenny, you know? And
right.
I was like, oh, I can't really do that to Lenny. So I told him, so I didn't come back in. Yeah,
so that's what it was. So that's all right. Yeah. All right. I get that.
But I always got along with Kevin. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he's not from Boston, but he seems very Boston. You know,
it's from Chicago and Philadelphia. But dude, you guys would have been great together.
Oh,
because I mean, because he's hilarious and you're hilarious. But that was funny. So that's what it was. It was just too much tension between the two of them. But if there wasn't tension, you would have considered stepping in that spot.
You know what? I don't even know because
it was so long ago.
It was so long ago, but it was also like that wasn't on the plate for me. No one asked me to do that. And then if they had ended amicably and were looking for somebody else, I maybe would have considered it. But if it was, I wouldn't have gone in after a bad breakup between them, you know?
Okay. All right. Well, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should have at least been back as a guest from time to time. Cause you're both hilarious. And I think that would have been great chemistry.
Yeah. Where's his podcast now?
Oh, he does it every day at 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's on YouTube. Kind of like this. But yeah, he's doing fantastic. But yeah, that would have been a nice chemistry. And
Isn't it funny how like we used to see each other, like you'd see all the comics every day. Now, if you want to see somebody, you have to go watch their podcast.
essentially, well, I mean, I don't know. It's still like I was at the stand last night, and I ran into like 25 different comics.
Oh,
So I mean,
that's
there's still places to go.
Yeah.
And
No, I was in last
And
night
I
and I
don't-
saw Ryan Hamilton and Lenny and Berbiglia and newer comics are there, like the next wave of hilarity. Jordan Jensen, have you seen her? She's unbelievable.
yeah, very funny.
Yeah. Nathan McIntosh was there. He's amazing.
Were you at the cellar?
I was at the cellar last night. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like not being passed at the cellar. I don't like hanging out there. If
Oh,
I'm
did you
not on a
audition?
show. No, I've never auditioned.
Oh, you
there.
didn't audition, so you don't
I've
have to
never
say you're not. You didn't pass. You just say I don't work there.
I don't work there. Yeah, but
Yeah.
do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hang
Sure,
out there if it's not a place. I don't know. I
Sure.
just don't feel as comfortable. I'll hang out outside and stuff, or if a friend of mine's on the show and I'm meeting up with a friend of mine, I don't mind hanging. But like otherwise, if it's not a place I work, I don't
Yeah.
know. It just doesn't feel like it's like
Sure.
it's just an odd feeling for me if
Sure.
that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a little different now
And,
than when we started, because when we started, there was one table, there was 10 comics a night, 16 comics a night, what was it, like 6 comics on 2 shows and maybe a couple more hanging out. But like now it's chaos. There's like, 4 rooms down there and, 25 comics on a night. So it's a little different.
How many spots you do Did you do a spot last night? I assume.
I host there, so I'll just
Okay.
come in and host 1 or 2 shows,
Nice. And then for those of you that don't know, let's put up your special. So your special came out last year. Unhinged?
Just regular hinged.
Oh, hinged. Oh, hinged. Because you're hinged.
Oh, I think that would
Yeah.
be better if I called it Oh Hinged,
Yeah.
because my wife's Irish. That would have been fun.
And how'd you meet your wife so late in the game?
On Hinge.
Oh, unhinged.
Yeah. On
All
Hinge.
right.
That's what it's called Hinged, Hinged. Because I was at my, Sam Rubinoff, my buddy Sam.
Yep.
He came with me when I was running this show, running this set. We went down and did Soul Joel's.
Okay.
And so he saw it all the way through there. And then the night of the taping, so that week I found out that Seinfeld was going to do a set on the first show. So, obviously I couldn't tell anybody that, but I told him, I was like, hey, I never told a few comics were great and came to the show, like Ryan Beck, Eric Newman, they came to the show. Andy Pitts came. I'll tell you this after, but remind me to tell you Andy Pitts, he's so good. But I told Sam, I was like, bring your girlfriend to the first show.
Right. There it is, everybody. It's free on YouTube. John Fisch,
So I
Hinge,
told him
full-time
that,
special.
and if he guessed it, like he knew afterwards. He goes, I knew Seinfeld was going to be here. I could tell. I was like, yeah, but I can't say it because I'm not really allowed to say that. But
Right.
Anyways, he also guessed that when we were pregnant, and nobody knew that. I was sitting down.
Wait a minute. He guessed when you were pregnant or when your wife was pregnant?
No, not like before she knew or I knew, before we told anybody else. Like he could just, like, he was like, you guys pregnant? Like whatever conversation we were having, he could tell I was not saying that, I was going around that. But anyways, he came, so he saw the show all the way through twice. And afterwards he came up to me, he was like, you can call it Hinged. He named it. Yeah.
Oh, he named it for you.
He named it. Yep. Sometimes that's great. That leads into the Andy Pitts thing. Sometimes you have someone else see the product that you've been, in for however long, and they see the whole thing. So it's easier for them, or they see, stuff that you wouldn't have connected, back in the day, Shaqy gave me a great callback because I had 2 jokes that were like written 3 years apart, but I was doing them in the same set, and he saw the connection and ended up being like my closing bit on a Colbert set.
What was the joke?
It was I was doing the joke about I was doing a joke about how single I was. And I was like, my emergency contact is going to be surprised. You know, you get that call, you're like, oh, well, I'll be right there. Yeah.
Right.
My person's going to be like, Wadawa Sushi. Because I talk about Wadawa Sushi being my best friends, like, you know, earlier in the set. And Shaggy and an audience member once kind of just said it. You know?
Really?
Yeah. So, like, yeah, you kind of... So anyways, Andy Pitts came to my second show that night of the taping, and he gave me a call back that makes the joke a closing joke. He's so good. He gives the best tags. He gives good tag.
What's he up to now? Andy Pitts, funny comics, been on Letterman and
So
stuff.
funny.
Where's he at now?
It. I mean, he's like the poster boy for Sirius XM. You can hear him on there like every other second. But yeah, he's, you know, crushing it, doing all the, you know,
what's a joke
all
that
the
you
stuff that we do when we're older, like the private shows, you know, go out to Vegas a few times, you know.
Oh yeah, dude, I haven't seen that
I don't
guy
think like
forever.
I feel like I've aged out of the clubs, you know what I mean? Except in New York City, but like I'm not going on the road to like.
Well, I think the days of comedy clubs, like it's so much now, like it's you gotta. They want whoever can bring in a following. It's not like the old days, like just show up on the radio show, like, oh, this is the guy that was on Bob and Tom this morning. Let's go see this guy. Like I think those days are over. It's more like you got to have like a little bit of your own following. Like even last night, like Dominic Leonelli was on the show with The Stand, and like he just put like he's like killing it on TikTok with like little and like 20 people came up just because they know him from TikTok.
Right.
And it's like insane. Like these days now, like, oh, you got to do TV and then this happens, do this and then this happens. Like, nah, you know, those days are done. But so give me some old days before you were married. I want some stories of your old dating days.
I never did any laundry.
Carlos
Do you have
Danger.
any story about emergency contacts? I was your emergency contact one night.
You were?
I don't even know if you know this or if you want this brought up on the air, but they called me from Bananas one night.
Okay,
when you, passed out on stage.
Oh, I had that was with Carmen Lynch.
Yeah. Well, Carmen called me.
I had a non-epileptic seizure on stage. Yeah, I'm on Kepra now because. And you know what sucks about that? I mean, I want to hear your story. I want to hear the whole thing, but so I didn't know what was going on. I thought I would just have these moments where I would just black out for a few seconds. Like I'd be fine, everything's fine, and then I would just black out for like a second. It's just like I thought I had like a head rush, and then like I'd come right back to, and everyone around me be like, if there was someone around me, they're like, dude, what happened? Like to me. It lasted like just a second and a half, like because I had no idea. And I would go see my doctor, and my doctor kept saying they're anxiety attacks. You're having an anxiety attack, and he kept putting me on anti-anxiety medication like nonstop. And then I'm like, I'm still having them. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And it took after I got in a car accident during the pandemic, and then the neurologist at the hospital was like, no, you have to go get an EGG, because I would do those and they would literally put them on your head for like 15, 20 minutes. And then that's it. And like, obviously, you know, I'm not epileptic. I'm not prone to seizures. So nothing would happen. There'd be like no activity that would say you're having a seizure scenario. So it took for someone to put one on my head and like, no, you have to keep that on for like 5 days. And then they saw like, one night there was like a reading like, oh, it's not an epileptic seizure. So it took that before, but otherwise my doctor just came, no, it's anxiety. You're fine. Just relax. It's anxiety. And it wasn't.
How long? So you thought it was like a few seconds, and how long were the episodes actually?
I mean, it was a few seconds, but it was, no, it wasn't a minute. How long did Carmen tell you it was? It was literally like
enough that you fell down, you passed out, right?
No, I didn't fall down.
Oh, you didn't fall down. Okay.
I just like lost my train of thought on stage.
and they raped you. That's what I
No,
heard.
no, I didn't. But it was noticeable. Like it happened on stage, and in my head, even I'm like, I didn't think it was. But then I started like I was doing fine, jokes are going, everything's great, and then like that happened, and then like, all right, I kind of can't. And I went to go tell jokes again, and everyone's like, just concerned, and it was like no more comedy show. Comedy show was like what's going on, and it's and everyone was like concerned. It was just more.
I would like to use that as an excuse for when I'm bombing.
I'm having a non-epileptic seizure.
You text me what that is. Yeah.
So you tell me what happened. What was going on that night? Because I remember
I was visiting my family. I wasn't working because I remember taking the call like outside on my parents' like lawn or something, and I just remember Carmen was just freaking out. She didn't know if I knew anything in your history that you had.
Like you're now my doctor.
yeah. And it was like, who do we call? I was like, I don't know, sister, I think maybe.
Yeah, that is my emergency contact. Would be my sister.
Yeah. So yeah, it was Carmen was she was good in action.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I was embarrassed. Like that's the other thing too. Like I would have these episodes, and like I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? And then in the end, anxiety medication did nothing. Like I didn't know what was going on. I seriously didn't know what's going on, and it's not
let's be fair. I mean, any doctor that's going to prescribe us anti-anxiety medication, I mean, that's just that's a good call.
Well, I am on anti-anxiety medication, by the way.
We like I do have
anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
But also like, I didn't know that she called you that night, but
yeah. Did you go to the doctor in Astoria that a few of us went to, Dr. Congatis?
No, no, my doctor.
How on the nose is that? His name was Socrates Congatis in Astoria.
Where I mean, I don't want to say where he was at, but like it was the same doctor all you guys would go to?
No, not I.
You're talking about you're talking about the therapist.
No, the therapist.
Like everyone had the same therapist. I know Soder had the therapist. Vecchione had the same therapist.
Yeah. No, this was the doctor in Astoria. I think Anthony DeVito and Greg Stone and I went, and I think we kept referring him to because he was a good dude.
Yeah, my doctor's annoyed by me. Like I go in there and he's like, "Yeah, this is anxiety. Relax." And I'm like, I don't think this is anxiety.
Yeah.
And it really was like because I don't have a significant other, I don't have a family around me, so like I had no one to like sit there and monitor and be like taking notes, like, "Hey, this is what's happening. This is what's happening." I had none of that. So you're just trying to figure it out by yourself, and it's like, and that wasn't working. Then I said, my doctor, he doesn't want anything to do with it. But whoever that therapist was, I would see everybody.
Yeah.
I know he saw Soder. I know he saw Vecchione. Matarese. Oh, he saw Matarese.
I think Robert Kelly was like one of the first ones too. I think.
To go to that guy?
Robert Kelly is on the forefront of a lot of things. I mean, he was on the forefront of podcasts. He was doing podcasts when you just did it into your phone. That's who I called when I was starting my podcast.
Oh, to do it? Yeah, because I remember like it just like, well, I mean, Keith and the Girl was like the first podcast that I knew, and they had like the whole studio
Burr and Robert, yeah.
But I do remember comics doing that, where there's a little recorder and everyone just sit around and talk into the recorder.
Was Keith and the Girl still going?
I think Keith does it by himself now. It's I know him. I don't know where she's at. Tigger 74, 70, bald dude. KB made 200,000. So there you go. KB is killing it. Which shows Ray's best year in comedy was 30K. Ray KB has got.
Am I bald, dude?
I think you're bald. I think you would be the bald guy.
Okay, so he's just telling me this. I'm not supposed to be looking into this for anything else than just information, or is he giving me any suggestions? Okay.
And you know what else that means, dude?
What?
If you're bald, that means too much testosterone. That's why you keep having kids over 50.
Dude, I need a vasectomy real bad.
What was going on the years before you had a wife? Like, what was going on with your other girlfriends? Like, how did you not get them pregnant with this? I
just, if I'm being totally honest, I would only put it in the butt.
What? Really?
No.
I mean, I don't know.
Right, this is a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
We're doing jokes. I don't know. Pill, condoms, that kind of stuff. But my last serious girlfriend had one of those Nuva rings or whatever,
And so that's
Yeah, you never
what happened
know.
with-
You never know where the fertile combo is coming from. It might it might be the combination of me and my wife that, yeah, we get real pregnant.
was this is I mean, I don't want to know her age, but like, is she how much older are you than her? If you had
I'm 13 years older. She
13
was
years
like-
older. Okay.
When we got pregnant with our first, by the time we had the baby, she was considered a geriatric pregnancy. So she was 34 mostly when she was pregnant, and then had the baby at 35, and they consider that geriatric.
It's not even that old when you think about it.
No, but
No.
yeah.
Tell this egg-headed hack about your whack shack.
You have a whack shack, and why am I a hack?
Yeah, he's just ribbing you. But no, yeah, Kevin thinks it's insane that in my house growing up, we only had 2 bedrooms. So my parents were in one, and then my sisters and I would share another one. Then when I got like 12, 13, I got
Yeah, I know where this is going.
yeah, I got my own bed. I got my own bedroom, which was great.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
sisters were actually jealous of me that I got my own bedroom and they still had to share. So they would have happily taken that. But no, I just said, like, I was like 12, 13. It's like, all right, it's time.
It's time.
You can't, you don't have no need to share a bedroom with your sisters anymore. Do it. So
We were
but
gonna
my-
put our son and daughter, because he was a surprise as well. We were in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. He was supposed to sleep in her room, but he never made it there. He slept in the bathroom.
where do they got right? What do you mean? He sleeps in the bathroom.
He slept when he was born. We were in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, so he
Right.
slept in the big bathroom. Because we were gonna put him in the. You couldn't put him in the room right away with her, because you can't put a baby in a room with a toddler right away. So we had him in the bathroom. He was supposed to be in there for like a month or 2, but we just left him in there. So he just slept in the bathroom for the first year of his life.
I didn't know that. Why can't you have a toddler and infant in the same room, sharing a room?
The toddler can throw stuff at the baby.
Oh, all right.
Babies are defenseless. They can't move a little
Yeah.
blankie off them.
Why didn't you just put the crib in your bedroom? Let the baby sleep with you.
I mean, we did that right away, but after a
Right.
while, you have to kind of sleep. We sleep trained them, and they need their own area. And it was either that or the hallway, or it was a big bathroom. Worked out.
Who tells you this, or you guys just came up with this on your own?
Hey, man, I guess I slept in a drawer for the first 3 months of my life. There's no rules.
Did you really?
Yeah, my parents told me I slept in a drawer, like a dresser drawer.
That's a Boston thing. I could see that being
No,
like
we
a
were-
thing.
We were in Arizona at that time, actually.
What was your was it like growing? I know you have a brother. You have an older brother.
Younger
All
brother.
right.
He
Oh,
just
younger
seems
brother.
older
Okay.
because he's much more put together. Yeah.
All right. Tell me about your childhood, since everyone knows my childhood. Everyone here listening knows my childhood.
They
But
do.
what was it? Yeah,
wanna hear some of that.
unfortunately. No. Oh, you just heard it. The fact that they think that my parents
saved up
built-
all your jerking off.
they think that my parents built me a specific room. Just like that'd be
And this
hilarious.
guy's
If I
only
like,
been a member for 5 months, so that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
they think that my parents are like, no, he's got a bedroom and then he's got his own room where he jerks off in. He's got 2
Yeah.
rooms, one a
Yeah.
bedroom, and he's got a jerk off room, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's real living. My childhood was pretty good, especially for a comedian. You always hear like comedians have bad childhoods or something like that, or
No, well, people think I had a bad childhood. I didn't.
Yeah.
It's like they just hear about me and my childhood. It's like, oh, I'm not complaining. I've loved my parents. I love my sisters. It was just different. I was like, just kind of my own. My sisters were kind of like reclusive, stayed in the house. I have anxiety and ADHD. I was a nightmare for my parents, growing up. It wasn't until like 8th grade when I would just go and play basketball like 8 hours a day. And then
Yeah.
I got all the anxiety out. Like I was a fat kid too. And then I would just play basketball nonstop. And then like I lost like 15 pounds in a couple months. And then I got good grades and everything was fine. What was it like for you in school and everything growing up?
That
Tell me.
was my. I mean, basketball is that's how we really met, playing basketball. I mean, from comedy, but that's where we hung out most, was playing basketball in Astoria, and that was like, I mean, we had a basketball hoop in our backyard, this little patio, and I remember that's where I would study. I'd take one of those like folding tables out. I'd have my notebook right there, and I would, if I had to memorize stuff or whatever, I'd be shooting hoops, doing that. And in fact, we just moved into this house a few months ago. This is the first time I've busted out any podcast equipment, and it was downstairs. And I was like, "Where's my basketball? I'm looking for my basketball." Because I had a therapist who was like, "What do you miss doing in life? Like, what are the things that you remember doing and enjoying as a kid?" And I was like, "I miss just shooting hoops for like 20 minutes or whatever." So I went and bought a basketball to do that. Yeah.
You know, they still play. I can't play.
Yeah.
I got a busted knee, but
you can't play. Well, I mean, we could play over 50 league or over 40 league.
No, Big J, where he lives, they have a court, and sometimes I'll swing over there and play with them, like when I'm in town.
Yeah.
And it is definitely better playing with comics because like our level is still because we aged. We're all like the same age, as opposed to like playing against some 22-year-old that can just like run. I'm like, my knee's not going there.
Different game too. They play different moves. No, but I mean, there were two big injuries when we were playing. What do we call it? The Astoria Basketball Association or whatever.
Yeah. I have one right now. I have a sprained MCL. I hope it's just a sprain.
Yeah.
But
I have injuries from not playing
I'm immobile.
sports. I don't need to add that. But Tim Young broke his leg. He had to go on the road on crutches. And Alberstadt busted his, I always mess up this word, the patella tendon. What is it?
Patella?
In his knee. Patella tendon in his knee. Yeah. Oof. That thing blew up like a basketball that day.
Yeah, dude. It's that's what I got right now. I got my big thing is like I'll get gout sometimes. I mean, my drinking days have got to end. That's what it's got to, or just do it once in a while. But like,
does drinking cause gout?
Yeah, beer does.
Oh, really?
And it goes in your joint. So here's the deal: it goes in your joint, but if you drink a lot and stuff, you get it out. But what happens is it stays in your joint.
Drink a lot of water.
Yeah, and then drink a lot of water, and you got to pee it out. But then it gets in your joint, and then I'll try to run because I'll run like 4 miles a day. Not now. At like 8 miles per hour, and it'll still be in there, and it fucks up your joint. Like now so I'm assuming that's what happened, or I don't know if I hurt my knee playing a pickup basketball game too. I don't know. I just know like it hurt, and right now it really hurts. And I've been dealing with.
I know a doctor
stuff.
You should not go to ask about that.
Yeah, the doctor that told me, he's like, I'm like, what's wrong with my knee? He's like, it's anxiety. You got a bunch of anxiety in your knee. I can't move. That's a lot of anxiety in your knee. We got to do something about that.
Can I add to the stories of Ray pocketing food or drinks from shows or parties? I mean, you're talking to comedian. I mean, that's any comedian is doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pocketing food and drinks. I think what Noga is trying to say is I did a show in Pottstown, and there was hamburgers in the green room for the talent. I was on the show, and I did not eat my hamburgers there, but I took 2 hamburgers with me to go.
Sure.
Does that make me an asshole? John Fisch, am I an asshole?
Nah.
What should I have done? Sat there and ate? I also can't eat and drink at the same time. If I'm eating, I'm eating. If I'm drinking, I'm drinking. I can't mix. I'm very regular, John. I'm very regular. So if I eat, I'm going to eat, and then I'm got to go to the bathroom a half hour later.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean,
that's it. Yes.
Either
thank you.
Very healthy or very unhealthy. I'm not sure which one we are, but I will say this. I knew when I was getting into comedy, like one of my first years, I was at like a Chinese buffet place that had a show in Boston, and the headliner he had brought his own Tupperware to take food home, and I was like, all right, that's what this life is going to lead me to.
Oh yeah. I never thought about that. Like that's taking it up.
That's
First
new
of all,
level. Yeah.
I don't own any Tupperware.
Well, you got to get
So
some
I'd have
Tupperware,
to
Ray.
get Tupperware.
Yeah.
Just I just eat like once or twice a day. So like it doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense to go buy groceries, because here's the deal. I will buy groceries, but then I'm never around to eat it, so I end up throwing it away anyways.
Sure.
So for me, it's just like go pay $12 for lunch, and then that's it. I spend like $20 a day on food. Is that normal? How much money do you think you spend for? I know you have a family, but pretend it's just you. How much does it would it cost for you to eat for a day? What's your budget, or what would you say if not that your budget, but like what would you if you had to guesstimate?
Probably $30 to $50. You know,
$30 to $50. All right, you have higher taste than me, man.
Well, I just lost the volume. Did I go out or did you go out?
I must have went out. Do you hear me?
Uh-oh. Sorry. I wonder if my headphones are dead. That shouldn't be the case. They were fully charged.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, Ray.
I was right. I hear you just fine.
Nope, they're still golden. Something else is going on. Tell the story about how you and Dan Allen made love underneath the Sorry. Is this live?
Yes, yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me or no? All right, I'd say take off the
turn it
headphone.
off the Bluetooth, buddy. I'm turning it off.
All right. All right. While you figure it out.
All right. How's that?
Better? All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What'd you do? What were you touching over there, John Fisch?
It says everyone can see me and hear me.
I can see you and hear you. I can see and hear you. I just can't. You just can't hear me.
I might have to leave and come back.
Okay, go ahead. Leave and come back. That's fine. All right. Yeah, so there you go. So yes, Noga. That's the way comedy goes. Yes, you by all means, if you're at a gig, you're allowed to eat the food in the green room. That's what it's there for. That's why they put it there. It's weird if they have food and drinks in a green room and you're not allowed to eat it. That'd be more weird. Then what? So yes, if you're a comedian, you're in the green room, there's food, there's drinks, it's all yours. That's why it's there. It's there. You're allowed to have 2 hamburgers if you want. What's up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I can't see you.
Hold on.
But at least this is better. So in the meantime, so what was the thing you were asking about me and Dan?
Oh, that was a joke.
Smule Buckman, you took 2 burgers but left 2 Pepsis. Fair. I did leave 2. And you know why I had Pepsis? This is why I had, because I just did a corporate gig the week before, and in my merch bag they had those like little 8-ounce Pepsis, and I had like 3 cans of those in my bag, in my merch bag. So I gave those to other people in the green room. So I did leave 2 Pepsi. So I left things in the green room from another gig. So yes. So I've done what's your story as far as green? What you tell them what you think the green room etiquette is for a comic?
For me?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised. You know, I remember when I'd be on the road, like, I'm surprised they don't give you more stuff. Like, you're traveling.
There you go. Yes.
It's like, show up, like, sometimes you get to a club and you're just roaming around all day, or just, you don't talking to anybody all day. I used to always appreciate it if someone just came in and like, here's the best place to go for lunch. Here's the best this. Here's the best that. Here's a couple bottles of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what else? I don't know about how you feel about this, like, but being on the road, what's your favorite hotel? Your favorite hotels?
It's funny, man. Just as long as it's clean,
Exactly. Because I'm going to say this. My favorite hotels, I'm fine with just a Red Roof Inn or a Comfort Inn. I don't want a
I need
fancy.
to go a little higher. I need a Marriott or a Hilton or even a Holiday Inn Express. Give me a Holiday Inn Express.
A Hampton Inn, Holiday Inn Express. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
That's great. But I will take a Red Roof Inn or a Comfort Inn over one of those hotels where you ever stay as like a Hilton that's like too nice and internet's like $10 a day.
It's never $10 a day anymore. Plus, you get a hotspot on your phone, probably, right? You get a T-Mobile.
No, I don't have a hotspot. How do I get a hotspot on my phone?
You on T-Mobile or you on Boost?
I'm on Verizon.
Oh, you should have a hotspot on your phone, buddy.
I don't know what that is. I just put on the
Wi-Fi. I
Wi-Fi.
hotel and think I have bed bugs. I feel like that's pretty standard with.
Have you ever got bed bugs at a hotel? I never got bed bugs.
I felt itchy after a couple of Red Roof Inns.
You're being serious. Well, you know what? You do have more hair on your body. That's why you got to trim.
That's true.
That's why you got to trim, dude. That would not happen. But if you get too high end of a hotel, it gets too expensive. Like you got to pay for lunch. You got to pay for breakfast. The second you go to a hotel and they have a bar in the hotel, that's great if you want to but at the same time, that means breakfast a lot of times isn't free. It's not going to be continental.
True. But I got to be like back when I was on the road, like all the time, like I was never awake for breakfast.
That's true too. But something about it when it's like a nice continental breakfast and it's free.
Yeah.
I'll get up by 11.
The best. You ever do a show? This happened a couple of times where like you're traveling to the hotel puts on the show and the show's in the breakfast room. And then you wake up the next morning, you have the breakfast because they changed over the showroom.
I've never done a show where it would, but yes, I've been in plenty of times where there's a comedy club is inside the hotel room. Yeah, that happens a lot, but usually it's like in another room. It's never been like where the continental breakfast is. By the way, I'm not above doing those shows. Yeah, let me know who books it. I'll be there.
That was the equivalent of who books that.
Yeah.
Is it okay to bring non-talent to the green rooms to eat all the pizza?
Yeah, that happened in Detroit. I was on a show in Detroit. I was not the person that first of all, I never have plus ones with me. I'm a loner. That's why John Fisch is my emergency contact.
No, it's not. That is not okay to do. My wife and her sister and our brother-in-law came to the Stanford New York Comedy Club show a couple weekends ago, and everyone was gone. Like the show was over. Everyone had finished, and there was a pizza. And Leonard Oots was like, "Help yourself to this pizza." That was his pizza. That's the only time it's okay. Like shows, they didn't even take it then. We ended up hanging out another 20 minutes. They were gone, and they all grabbed like a bite because they were drunk and happy.
Yeah, and then also for the show in Detroit, I did not even eat any of the pizza that was in the green room that I could have eaten, but because I don't eat and drink at the same time. That's why I didn't eat any food in the green room in Detroit. But it was also all of it was eaten by the end of the night, anyways. Like it was eaten before the people who were the headlining podcast even got off stage. They went back to get their food and it was all gone because someone that was invited from another podcast, I'm not going to say, but somebody like had let all their friends in the back and do it. But that had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
That had nothing. Yeah. And that has nothing to do with Obnoxious John. Some people want to blame Obnoxious John. It had nothing to do with Obnoxious John. We were both innocent of that. That was for a live show in Detroit. So yeah, a lot of green room talk. You know you're doing high budget stuff when people are like, what's going on in the green room? And no, I did not have a non-epileptic seizure that day. I did not. Dude, that's hilarious. I did not know Carmen called you.
Yeah.
I gotta have her on and talk to her about like what was going on that night. Dude, I was embarrassed. She's like, I think she took me to the ER. I don't remember, but like I was embarrassed.
Wow.
It was, yeah, that was definitely a very uncomfortable situation for me because you're like, geez, now I got all these people being like, what's going on with this guy? Did he OD or something? Is he going to be all right? Like,
Right.
So I don't know. I'm a proud man, John. I'm a proud man. But yeah, it's my favorite green room story is I was doing the DC Comedy Festival. I actually also on that show was Carmen Lynch. Carmen Lynch was also on this show. So she's and Tony Woods.
Tony Woods thought I was a black man until recently.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I hear my wife. Lee, come on the podcast. She's pretending she doesn't hear me. It's a little video.
It's a little video. You're welcome.
Ray says he'd rather sleep at a Red Roof Inn than a Hilton.
As long as I don't got to pay $20 for internet. That's it. I'm easy going, John. I'm easy going. I don't need a Days Inn is fine. I don't. And I guess you're right. It depends on the Red Roof Inn because I have seen some shoddy ones. I think Days Inn also falls under that umbrella because you can go to one Days Inn and it's like crazy nice, and then another one and it just looks like someone's garage with the Days Inn sign over it.
It's Day Inn.
Yeah. I did a gig with a corporate gig and I didn't have a hotel room, so I was doing Soul Joe's later that night. So we had an afternoon gig. I brought Gooch with me to feature. And I got us a room. I just happened to get like a Motel 6, and we get back to the room. We get there. Luckily, we didn't put our stuff in the room, but we just checked the room, saw that there's 2 beds, and then we didn't even take the stuff out of the car. We just went to Soul Joe's and did the show at Soul Joe's. When we came back, Gooch went to open the door, and it was locked. Somebody was sleeping in the bed. They gave our room to somebody else.
For an hour?
They were in there. And then the lady was like upset with me when I was like, how do you, she's like, I don't know why you're giving me attitude. It's like, you're literally the only one. What is there another front desk here that could have possibly given them you're the only one. I don't see what it.
You know what I'm thinking though? That would be not a bad business model, to have like hotels, like $50 nap sessions. You know what I mean? You just go into the room for you get it for 2-hour chunks or something. I'm sure they do that for
that's what prostitutes have, John.
But
those are for Johns, John. You would that's right. Yeah, you are the actual John that would be for. That's not a John. Like you are a John, but not that kind of John.
That's true.
But and then she told me, because I got it through hotels.com. That's what I got it through, or either that or one of those apps. She's like, this is out of my control. You got to call that number. And I literally call that number. She's like, hang on, because her phone rings. She picks up. I'm like, yeah, it's me. Like, you are the number. You are the number that I'm here to call. Like this is you. Yes. Do you want to do it over the phone? Is this better?
Yeah. Okay, so this question, is it okay to bring non-talent to the green room to eat all the pizza? How about this? If you show us a talent and then you can have some pizza.
There you go. That's for every joke you get. I'm going to be back. I'm going to let you interact with them for a second. I'm going to be back. I'm going to use a restroom real quick. My apologies.
The wax shack or the regular bathroom?
It's just a regular bathroom. No, not the wax shack. But here, I'll be right back. I'll see you in 1 second. I'll let you entertain him.
That's my new question.
Why is John Fisch acting like a fish out of water?
Waster.
One for yourself's a good egg, by the way.
What does that mean? Why do you want me to answer that? Why am I acting like a fish out of water? That's the old adage for a sitcom. That's your golden rule. What would my fish out of water be? He just left me alone. He just left me alone to go take a leak. What kind of low budget podcast is this?
How long have you guys been going?
We've been going for so long that my sound went out, and
Less is more, kids.
Yeah, we've been on for an hour, I think. So yeah, why don't you come? I mean, the only time we ever do this is when we're doing
Couples
therapy.
therapy.
So let's do some couples therapy. Do you guys have any couples therapy questions for us? I can't get a new one. He has to put the new questions up. So we're just stuck with this misspelled question.
Actin like a fish out of
Waster.
waster.
What do you mean water? I'm going to assume. Ray, you're back. We've been doing couples therapy since.
Hey,
You remember, Lee?
All
You met her
right.
at
Hey.
Q&D once.
What's going on, Ray?
yes. How are you, Lee?
I'm
Welcome.
doing well, thank you. Are you guys gonna?
How
join-
you doing? What's that?
Are you guys gonna join my 2:00 Zoom with the Ritz Carlton?
Oh, Rich,
Yeah, Ritz Carlton.
Yeah, no,
All
yeah.
right.
we were just talking
much
about
is
Red
it?
Roof Inns.
Yeah. How much does
You'd rather
internet
stay in a
cost
Red Roof
at
Inn.
a Ritz Carlton? It's like at least $10 a day.
How much is internet at the Ritz Carlton?
They don't charge you internet. They charge you $1,000 a night just to be there.
Yeah, so they
Internet.
don't charge you more.
You don't get an itemized receipt from the Ritz. You're lucky to be here. Yes, $1,000.
Yeah.
John says you help him manscape. What's that like?
I mean, really, I do it because I don't like when he does it alone because it gets all over my house. So, he gets naked. We go in the shower with this stick groomer. I don't know if anyone has them, so they reach in all the places. I don't do his balls. That's about it. That's where I draw.
All right. And then he says he does it outside sometimes. I'll go outside. I'll go on the back porch. I'll go on the back porch and do it. I'm not above it.
Yeah, no, we have a duplex, so it's like our neighbors.
That's
can
why I
come
told
out.
them. I go. The first thing I thought when
Anytime.
they moved was like, I could shave outside.
Yeah, they just moved to Florida, so we could do whatever we want out there.
Yeah, and we do.
Do not.
Yeah. It was OJ. He ate it all. Talking about the pizza schmeal. But OJ, I don't know if OJ ate it all. OJ's a good man. It's my buddy, Obnoxious John, who's also from Cleveland.
Yeah. Clarify that it's Obnoxious John, and you're not talking about O.J. Simpson.
No, it's
You're like,
Obnoxious
"O.J. was
John.
a good
Yeah.
man. He was a good
My
friend.
guy.
He was misunderstood.
By the way, you know what's insane about that? Like, I've been doing this, John Fisch. I've been doing baseball cards, sports cards breaks. I was at the Hall of Fame this past weekend in Canton and doing them Tops and Panini breaks. And I was at the National Sports Card Convention the weekend before that. Here's the thing, like Aaron Hernandez, murderers like Aaron Hernandez, Ray Caruth, and all that, their cards became more valuable when they killed people. O.J. Simpson is the only one who killed someone and his card became less desirable. Isn't that weird?
Because he wasn't convicted of it. So you got to.
So you think he's the only one where the other people killed? Like there's a Mark Jackson. I don't know if you've seen this card. Mark Jackson, the point guard for the Knicks and Pacers back in the day.
Knicks and Pace, that's like going from the Yankees to the Red Sox, isn't it?
Who did Aaron Hernandez kill again?
Olden Lloyd. I think he killed Olden Lloyd. But this card right here has become valuable. It has nothing to do with Mark Jackson. But people want this card because the Melendez brothers killed their parents and went to a Knicks game.
Oh, that's right.
And there's the Melendez.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
remember that story. Yeah.
What would you do after you killed your parents?
After you murder your parents, go sit courtside at a Knicks game. Jeez. So that card became a collectible only because there's murderers in the car. So something about being a murderer makes the card more valuable unless you're O.J. Simpson. He's the only one where it worked against him.
It wasn't proven, so
Why do people hate him more than the other murderers?
I don't know. But I want to sell some baseball cards. What's the market like these days?
I'm going to tell people right now, if you want to know what your baseball, here's what you got to do. I don't know what your baseball cards. Well, here's what you got to do. Now you got to get them PSA rated. That's what you got to do. Got to get them authenticated, rated. That's like the big thing. It costs a lot to do it by mail. So you got to wait for a sports card show in your area, and then that's where you go and get them. Now, the best thing to do is you see what card you have. Go on eBay, kind of see what the market value is for them on eBay, and then you know if there's like a demand for your card. If you see that it's not a lot of traction, then it's probably not worth doing anything about.
Right.
What
Here's
year are your
my plan.
cards?
I have mostly 80s, late 70s, 80s. I think I'm going to go look at my cards, see who's in the crowd, and go kill them.
That's one way to do it. It's gonna.
That's my
401k
401k plan. I'm going to
Yeah.
go murder some people in the background of cards. And there's your clip, Ray, for the
There
week.
you go. Mr. Rapey, Mr. Ray. Ray just got here. Who's this big guest coming on? Can't wait. It's Leah. She's here.
Lee, just regular
Lee.
Lee.
Oh, Lee.
You know what's
Oh, I'm
funny is
sorry.
her Instagram is L Calf. And so everyone that's never met her, they're like, how's L? And I'm done correcting people. I just let them call. So you're L to half the world.
Oh, I can't show that picture. I would love to
internet
buy
is
you a
a-
drink. Yeah.
These days.
Yeah. All right. We can. I did not realize what picture was going on. All right. That can't have that up. Dang.
Fisch, and he's the funniest person that you probably have not heard of.
Dang, Lizard. Ray's a proud man. Are you worried about all the guys talking online about how they want to dominate you and really F no lube Ray?
No,
Thank you,
Luke,
Dang
or Ray.
Lizard. Yeah. No loop for Ray. Thank you,
I
Dang
don't know.
Lizard.
I'm just putting this out there. I think you need a producer that just reads these before you throw them up there. That's just a quick assessment.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. But thank you, Dang Lizard.
So
We
you
call it a real-time editor.
a real-time editor. You need a real-time editor.
I'll
To
do
the
it-
to
I'll
your
do it.
guest.
This is for you. This is for What
No,
is
no,
worse, Lee?
I've hung out with Ray
Being on this
off
podcast.
camera. That's
Yeah.
much worse.
What's worse, Lee? Shaving John's back or being on this podcast right now with me and John? What is
She's on the computer.
I'm doing
8
my
hours a
work.
day.
I can't believe people are watching me sit here, type emails, and you guys talk about shaving your nuts. sad.
Oh, we didn't talk about shaving our nuts.
I don't I trim the hairs there. I don't shave them.
I
I
shave
will
it.
say one of my more memorable John Fisch shaves. He's a very hairy man. Contrary to the fact that he can't grow it on his head, he can grow it everywhere else phenomenally. So he likes to trim down there to make it look in line with the rest of his body, right? So he'll trim his chest and he'll trim his your upper pubes. I don't know what it's called. He got a new razor once and didn't know how to use it and shaved down to the skin on his nether region. So he came out looking like he was wearing like a nude bathing suit because he had no hair on top of his head or on his balls, and then it was really hairy everywhere else. It was,
my dick and balls look like a chicken.
it was like
Like a
chicken
plucked
skin
chicken.
and then bear.
I used to do that Nair stuff or whatever, but it
I
would
did
burn.
Nair a couple times.
Yeah, I would put Nair on my shoulders, but it would burn, and then it was like
It would
bright
burn if
red.
you had to do it just one layer. If you put 2 Nairs on one spot, it would burn.
Yeah, it just hurt too much. I'm like, this is not worth it. Like, yeah, I was like,
That's Ray's
scar-
headshot. This guy has a thing of Ray's.
That's
First.
very funny.
Ray lived in a house with Jesse Joyce and many different revolving characters, but they used to have a wall of headshots.
oh, that's right, a wall of
Comics that
headshots.
visited The
Is
apartment
this-
like a comedy club.
The Astoria, the revolving comedy apartment.
Different one,
Okay.
but the first one. Then Dan Allen was in both of them, right? That's a
Hmm.
good trivia question. Which comic?
Dan, no, never lived with us. He just lived
Oh, he
a
didn't?
couple blocks over. No, he never
Oh,
lived
okay.
with us.
Was there any comic that ever lived in both of those houses? The Dan Allen, Tim Young house and the Ray Allen, Jesse Joyce house.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. But one thing about our apartment, which I was happy for, it was a crash pad for comics. Comics would just
Yeah.
come and they could like, we never charge anybody any money. Like they could literally
It
like,
was better than a Red Roof Inn.
yeah, literally like they could just crash there for like 2 weeks while they're doing spots and stuff. Like Henry Phillips used to crash with us all the time.
But who's the most famous comic you guys had during your
At your house?
revolving door?
I've had most famous comic that's crashed there.
Did Hannibal ever crash there? No.
No, because he lived here. He lived here. He didn't need to
But he
crash.
crashed on like Shacky's couch or something once. Somebody's couch.
I put it this way. There's a lot of comics that like we be hanging out and they were like too wasted. It's like, yeah, crash there for the night. So yeah, tons of those type of comics. But I'm trying to think. Yeah, quite a few though over the, I don't know, like crash in there, but like a lot of comics that are
Mark Maron.
way. I'm trying to think of headshots that were. I don't know why we had Stanhope's headshot. Stanhope never crashed at our apartment.
I think
but
he just had everybody. You didn't necessarily. They didn't necessarily have to stop by there. You put up.
I think for the most part, they at least had to be there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a Jesse thing. That's like make sure you bring your headshot. So
it's kind of scary that he did that, and also his other hobby is stuffing animals and putting those on the wall. Do you think he was ever
taxidermy
looking at headshots? Like, I can't wait to get them up on.
Dude, that is weird as shit. He's so into taxidermy, and that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all. But yeah, the fact that he.
No.
What?
Unless you call hitting roadkill at 2 a.m. hunting.
Oh, who had roadkill?
No, she asked if he was a hunter. He's not a hunter.
Oh, no, he's not at all. Tampa lit a kettle of converse. Did Ray tell you that he prefers hotel rooms where someone isn't already sleeping? That is true.
Yeah, we did do that. Oh, but here's another thing. Do your listeners know about your car that you used to have to not stop, and if you wouldn't go through tolls in case you had to stop?
I'm sure I had a car like that. Well, what was it? I couldn't turn it off.
Stopped, it wouldn't start again. So once you started it, you couldn't.
No, that was Jesse.
Oh, that was Jesse. Okay.
That was Jesse Joyce. That was his car. No, my car never had that issue. But yeah, that was Jesse's car.
Jesse had that also, that car that couldn't go into certain states because he had a DUI. That was a different car.
That's right. Yeah, he's sober now, man. It's all it took, that one DUI, and he's like, he's done. Flimsy Greenberg. All right, everyone on the screen. Flimsy Greenberg is done with us.
The great
Come
thing
on.
about your show, you don't actually have a producer, but your listeners come in when it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Flimsy Greenberg. We're having fun. I want to ask Lee something. Did John ever tell you about any of his past relationships? Anything like about any crazy ex-girlfriends?
I'm open to hearing more. Surprisingly,
I want to hear some.
Well,
What's
super slutty. Like, he looks like a nice Jewish boy. Has slept with everyone. His first girlfriend, Bonnie Newsombaum, shout out to her. His parents have kept all her love letters to him, and whenever I go out to Boston, his mom places them right next to the bed.
That's a joke. That's not true.
No, that is a joke. They never touch anything in my room. There just happened to be some in there when I was cleaning out the house, and it ended up being in her sight line. She saw it. It's not like
it's a plastic bin of love letters from Bonnie Newsom.
No, it's a ton of stuff. There's like old GPA
Bonnie,
cards. There's
what else? Someone peed in your bed, like
Oh yeah, I had a girl pee in my bed once, and then
that's a hell of a squirter. That's called a squirter, John. That's called a squirter.
He Has Friends album. Oh no, I've had a squirter. There's a difference.
What do you mean she peed in? She's just drunk?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that happens. What are you gonna do?
So slutty. Even his mom, who is a school teacher for special needs kids, 50 years, knows how slutty he is. That after 9/11, she called him the next morning to track him down and just, what did she say?
I just didn't know if you were having one of your sleepovers.
Having one of your sleepovers with your friends.
On 9/11?
Well, no, because she was nervous that I wasn't at home. She was trying to get in touch with me. She was, because she knew I lived in Brooklyn. She knew I didn't live in the city, but she didn't know if I was having a sleepover in the city with one of my friends.
All right. John's that guy that's friends with everyone he slept with. So he'd be like, we're going to this art gallery opening. And I'm like, cool. Is this your friend? Yeah. And then after I'm like, you guys slept together, right? And he's like, yeah, but like, we're friends. And I'm like, don't need to be there.
I think that's good. Lee, I'm on John's.
Woody McCarthy's wife's friend, who I happened to sleep with, was having an art show, and we all went. So it wasn't like I was seeking out this one person I used to sleep with to bring my new girlfriend to her
Who else
show.
do we hang out
Right.
with?
That's it.
You and Molly.
But Lee, isn't that a compliment that he can be friends with women that he used to hook up with?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
cut the
that's-
line. Just cut the tie.
There's a line? All right. Would you rather a girl that he used to sleep with, show up and be like, you son of a bitch, and she hates his guts? Wouldn't that be more of a red flag? I think that's a compliment to John that she was like happy to see John.
Yeah, I guess. It's annoying to me because absolutely everybody loves John.
She hates me.
Except for me.
She hates me.
John Fisch is one of the nicest people.
That's what she thought. In one of our first arguments, she goes, "You're not even nice. That's supposed to be your thing."
The first time we left Boston after I met his parents, his dad grabs his face and goes, "Johnny, you just bring so much joy to everyone you're around."
And she's trying to squash that joy since that day.
Oh,
you'll never break me. I don't want to.
I go,
oh,
you can't
man.
Yeah, so I guess John has slept with everyone, and they still love him.
Except for the one I'm currently sleeping with.
And what about you, Lee? Has he met any of your ex lovers?
We moved to the town next to where she grew up and where she went to high school with. We live walking distance to a garden that she has had sex in.
So he's pretending that he's jealous. John,
Our friend Kelly had that place. It's called the Iris Gardens. She had a painter commissioned to paint that for us on moving.
The garden that she had,
and that's where she had sex. Yeah. So every time I walk by it with my children in a wagon, I'm like, that's where your mother had sex with another person.
But I will say, John is not a jealous person. So I do that to like try to make him jealous. I'm like, I had sex there. That's my boyfriend's house.
We just keep walking around, and then she's like, that's Danny Ayatello's house. I had sex with him for the first time.
Everyone's Italian. Could you name one of my ex-boyfriends?
Rufus. Danny.
Last name.
Don't say last names. Don't say last names on this. Don't say last names.
I know there's the guy that you used to drive in college 8 hours because he played baseball at another school.
You can't say his name. I dated him for 2 years, and like meanwhile,
I wasn't around with that 2 years. He's Bobby. Then there was the Billy. No, I know. I'm just guessing at this point.
All right, you got Danny.
I got Danny. Yeah, Danny. And there's the guy that you were on a ship with because he was with a prince.
You're gonna have sex on a ship? Come on! How are you not gonna have sex on a ship?
For drugs and boat trips.
What?
When you were abroad.
There was no boating involved.
I thought you were. I don't know.
Boat?
I pictured you on a ship with this prince. I don't know.
Jesus.
Don't you just go on a yacht when you're in Italy? I don't know. That's what I thought.
We didn't get a yacht, but
yeah.
Girls always end up on boats.
Oh, you had a scooter. Okay.
So,
Yeah, girls always end up on boats. John and I never end up on fucking boats. No, just
yeah.
Dang lizard. See, Ray, evidence that you're the I-80 strangler is not enough for your merch to become valuable. We need a conviction. Hashtag justice for Ray's victims.
I got to be honest. I feel like the podcast has really taken an upturn since Lee came on.
Yes, Lee. Lee's brightening up everybody's day.
I'm literally doing work. Thank you, guys. It's like awkward at 2 o'clock.
Would Blondie mind getting? Come
on, Flimsy. Come on, Flimsy.
Not appropriate. Is that an Andy Cohen picture in your thumbnail?
Come on,
for Flimsy.
Oh, for Flimsy. Here, we'll go back to him saying something.
Cohen?
No.
Oh,
no.
Why does he have devil eyes?
I don't know.
That's Flimsy. It's adding his own flair. He's adding his own flair to things. Lee, every time I walk by a garden, I'm going to think of you now. Every time I walk by a flower garden.
It's an iris garden, to be specific. So.
Nice blanket, box of pizza.
MAGA Ray DeVito, Mud Shark Army for life. There you go. Thank you for the $2, MAGA Ray DeVito. No Carsall. Wait, he's not a Newport. Newport. I had Lamar Lee on a couple of weeks ago, and that's in this podcast world. I don't know what episode it came from, but that's what
I gotta
people
get back
been.
into the podcast world. Or
Yeah,
not.
no, that's what people have been calling. It's a very. Yeah. But no, he's not. No,
Is this
no
gonna live
Newport.
on?
What's up?
Does this live on forever on YouTube, or is this just done after this?
It's gonna be. Why you don't want it on YouTube?
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, it'll be on for a while. I'll do some editing if you want. Let me know. Mr. Rapey, Mr. Ray. So do you both have to lose Ray's number after this? Just kidding. Ray doesn't have women's phone numbers. Come on, Mr. Rapey, Mr. Did you know John's my emergency contact, Lee?
Really?
No, but Carmen once called me because he had an episode on stage one night. Where
Oh, like an anxiety episode?
that's what his doctor
That's
said.
what my doctor said. No, turns out it was a non-epileptic seizure. So
Wow.
you're as good as my doctor. That's what my doctor said. It's like that's
Well,
clearly
the information
anxiety.
that you heard. Put that one back up. I don't have Ray's number. There you go. We don't have it to begin with.
Ray, do you have hair?
Yes.
Ah, very nice. Okay, sorry.
Look
I
at
didn't
that.
know you said
Oh.
No, I was, well, I have a thing for, I guess, no hair, lots of hair, and
Yeah.
then no hair again. Very
No,
nice.
I got hair.
You're a very attractive, good-looking man with a nice head of hair.
Look at his dimple.
Yeah, I got a cleft chin and everything, man. Come on. We're doing it. Can you believe I'm single?
Yeah, he used to live. Our most recent place was very close to where he lived,
Okay,
or our last Astoria place.
that's funny because we only bumped into you at QED, which is
Yeah.
on the other side of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never lived with Dan. So what was the connection with you and Dan? How did you guys form your bond?
I'm not sure. I mean, when I first started seeing him around, it was him and Jesse, the Gentle Giants, right? And I don't know how we hit it off. I don't know if I had a crush on him or something. I don't know. He's a very handsome man. He looks like a lady.
I miss Dan Allen.
Dan Allen did stay with me, but that was into our friendship.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't stay with me. He was a very odd man. He would,
He does love you a lot.
he planned. He was like, So his apartment. He had told Paul Odo he was moving out and could move in, and then he negged on him.
What he what?
He negged on him. He was like, "No, I actually am staying." And then, cut to a few months later or something, he was going. Remember, he was going to move to England because he fell in love with that woman. And then the day before he was supposed to get on the plane, she was like, "I'd rather you not come." He had told Paul Odo again that he could move in, and he was like, "I'm not going to neg on him twice." So he was just like, "I'm going to plan on being homeless for a year and write a New York Times article about it." That was his plan. So he ended up doing a lot of dog sitting, cat sitting, house sitting, and in between, anytime he didn't have a place to stay, which was more often than not, he slept on my couch.
Dan Allen, for those of you that don't, he is not a Jewish man, but he was in a serious relationship with a girl for almost a year
You gotta have him on the
who was
podcast,
Jewish.
man. Well,
And he
that's
told
not-
her that he
Remember,
said he
he had
was
a friend.
Jewish.
He had a
He
friend.
faked being Jewish for a year.
No, it was not that.
Wait, I need
Back up.
clarification.
He had a friend, Lynn, who was very involved in the Jewish J-date world. And they used to do or still do, I don't know, a adult camp weekend for Jewish singles up in the Catskills or something. And they had plenty of women, but not a lot of men. So she told Dan he could come for free. And he just had to say to people that he could not say that he couldn't say that he wasn't Jewish. If someone asked him, he could say it, but he couldn't broadcast it or whatever.
Right.
So this woman assumed he was Jewish and they fell in love. He did tell her before a year. It was like, I think after the weekend he told her. But there
Oh, it was?
something
I
else he
thought it
wasn't
was a
supposed to say
while.
either.
I thought it was
he-
going on
he-
for months.
No. He couldn't say that he got the trip for free, and he couldn't say that he wasn't Jewish. That was what it was.
All right. So he did. I remember, didn't she dump him after she vowed out?
No,
He wasn't Jewish.
That was the woman that he was going to move to England with her. She wanted to be a playwright or something like that. And she used to come to New York. She was a very successful tutor.
Okay.
She had this tutoring business for like rich kids. And so she did very well, and she would tutor all year and then come and live in New York to be a playwright in the summer. So that was her plan, was to, live like that. And Dan was going to move to London with her. And then like the day or a few days beforehand, like we had a goodbye party for him at like Jason Cantor's bar. Not like a goodbye party, but like last time to see Dan before he leaves, Yeah.
I was probably there. I don't remember it off the
Yeah.
top of my head, but if I was in town, I'm sure I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I miss Dan. Dan was a fucking
He's not
character
dead.
for
He's
sure.
alive. You can call him.
So he has
Yeah, I'll
get now, right? Helena and 2 beautiful kids.
He's out on the island, actually. You can go visit him.
You know, Long
Oh,
Island?
Long Island, yeah.
yeah.
How are you?
Flimsy Greenberg. This guy looks like Aaron Berg and Joe DeRosa had a baby that was left in the sun. Oh, man.
I have not been in the sun. So
Uh,
that's the only thing that you're missing there.
But that I could see it. I could see the Berg and DeRosa cross.
The combo thing, yeah, because I'm not jacked. I'm definitely closer to the DeRosa body type at this juncture in my life.
Well, you decided-
No, you got more shoulders than DeRosa.
Oh yeah, I have better shoulders, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
He looks like he has two permanent. Joe
was
DeRosa
the-
looks like he has 2 permanently dislocated shoulders. He has like 2 out of size.
My favorite one, I think it was Patrice roasting him. He said DeRosa. I think it was Patrice saying he could never wear a backpack because the straps would just slide off.
Oh, I miss DeRosa. I haven't seen him. I gotta
He's
go.
also alive.
Yes, I gotta go. In podcasting, we call it he Newported on him. I don't know what that means,
does that
Noga,
mean,
but
Noga?
I don't know. That's up to Noga. Noga will have to explain that. I did not get that Urban Dictionary.
God,
What?
that is an old picture of DeRosa right there.
I can't show my screen.
But also, while we're at it, let's also we're gonna get ready to wrap up here in a,
Oh,
in a
I thought
bit.
we were done hours ago.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought we
we're
were just
done.
chatting at this point.
Oh no, this is Noga would not Flimsy Greenberg would not be able to put this in if this wasn't
In this scenario,
this-
Flimsy, am I still a baby, or have I grown up?
emotionally he's a baby. I'll say that.
Come on,
Also-
also a baby.
Yeah.
Why not plug while we're here, plug our good friend Ted Alexandro just had a new special.
Yeah. Speaking of Astoria legend.
Astoria legend, the mayor of Astoria.
The mayor,
I like how
I
you-
would say the president of Astoria.
The president, even though
Ted
he's not here
is-
anymore.
No joke, one of the top comedians of our century.
But there you go. It's got a new special on 800-Pound Gorilla. Watch it for free. It's called Cut Up. So check it out on YouTube. Also check out John's special Hinged on YouTube as well, man.
Or just pretend I'm Ted. We look exactly alike.
Yeah, I remember. Someone's like, you said to someone like, describe your act, and you go, "I'm Ted Alexandro Light."
Light.
I'm Ted Alexandro Light. Who's nicer? I don't think anyone could be nicer than Ted Alexandro.
No, he's also very zen and spiritual, so he's the added bonus. The best people are always like, how do you shut down hecklers? Like, what do you do when people are chatty or whatever? Like, everyone has their own style, and you just have to figure out how to talk to the audience in your style. Because if you do it not in your style and then try to go back to your act, it's going to look weird. Like, if you're not an angry comic, you can't be angry at the audience. You're not going to be able to get back. And Ted is not an angry comic, and he's just up there. He's doing his thing. He's smooth like Michael Jordan up there, joke after joke. And there's a chatty crowd, and he goes, "Your talking is very distracting." You just kept going.
like a Buddhist.
And it worked.
Ah. Oh, he's by far one of the funniest comics.
Yes.
And then everyone subscribe to John Fisch's Instagram at JD Fish.
That's right.
One of the funniest comics out there. He's
Let's get me over
fantastic.
4,000 followers.
He really is one of the funniest comics, and I don't even like him. So.
You only like rose or tulip gardens? What's the gardens?
Iris Gardens.
Iris Gardens.
She'll fuck you in a tulip garden too. She don't care.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everybody. Also, silkcityhotsauce.com. Put in Rock B, get Pain in the Brain, hot sauce. All right. I love everybody. That's our podcast. Patreon.com/Fredo. All right. That's it. Peace.
Thanks, Ray.